Hey there, it's Alexander again. I just thought I'd do a quick video. I sent the LARP video that I posted earlier to an acquaintance of mine. I asked him what he thought. I thought he'd like it since it's a lot more put together. It's a lot more even-handed. Here's what I said to him. I said, I think you'd like the latest video that I just uploaded. He finally got back to me. I guess he watched all of it. He says, you're just hating on this kid the entire time. Shit, sandwich it, or you'll scare the hose. I had to tell him point blank because it's not exactly a new relationship I have with this guy. I said, you're one of the last people to get to make value judgments about others, though, because I was actually here a few years ago and I explored a dead end with YouTube content creation, actually, and also relating to programming. And I said, remember the old videos? Nobody liked that. He says, I don't. And I said, exactly. Here's the secret about that video, in case you don't know. Seeing the positivity in the video here requires a level of caring about the subject matter that many people don't actually have. And this is what I had said to him, in fact. It requires a level of caring that you don't and will never have in order to say what I said without ill will. Since you don't actually care about DOS programming, it all just reads as synthetic optics to you. There's no positivity that's apparent in what I'm saying because all of the positivity has been sublimated into that subject matter that, as I said, you don't actually care about. In other words, it's there, but only for people who want to see it before they clicked. And without that grounding, all you're gonna get is this nightmare of some dashing hater. And that's actually kind of the masterclass when you think about it. What I'm doing here is I'm trapping all the jabronis, all the people who don't give a shit about this, all the people that just want to drink slop YouTube content out of a straw, and they want people to just do this performance for them and be porn stars about every subject under the sun. I'm trapping them because I'm generating that negative response. You know, everybody understands very well, I'm sure by now on social media, hate sells, right? And people who don't give a shit about this stuff are going to hate me. They're going to have a lot of hate if they click at all, if they watch any of this stuff. They're going to be like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? How dare he? He's probably a LARPer in his own right. Look at him. Nobody who looks that good is actually a professional C programmer, except you can read my stuff or maybe ask me questions and you find out I am legit with what I do. But that doesn't matter. The point is the perceptive loop that's going on here, and that you're going to think that you're going to think all these fucking things, all this shittiness, just as an allergic reaction to this thing that you can't handle and you're too mindfucked to have an honest conversation with yourself about in order to sort out. But here's the silver lining. If you do care, you're going to be one of those people that says, I don't see what all the big fuss is about. And I'm going to say, yeah, me neither. That's the thing, though, is that I do understand it. It doesn't make it justified and it doesn't make it right. But I get what's happening with these people here. I get why they're going to be mad. They're going to say Alexander's a hater because it's not going to be meaningful to them whenever I say the positive things or whenever I share stories or say, hey, there's this other tool, blah, blah, blah. It's not meaningful to them because they don't actually give a shit about this. And more importantly, at least as far as the whole accusations of hating goes, it's also not meaningful to them whenever I let the guy speak, which I do quite a lot of. I'm not just talking over and interpreting over what he's saying. I'm letting him say what he says, and then I'm having a response directly. But so goes the dynamic here. And I'm doing this deliberately and consciously because I want to stamp out that kind of culture. I don't like it. And I don't think that anybody who has any respect or admiration for the things that we do should put up with it. It's not good for us. It's not good for you or me to sit and abide by a bunch of dilettantes and a lot of times just people who are straight up frauds. The problem is that centering what he's doing here, where we don't have any seriousness about the subject matter, we don't care about our craft, we don't care about the science or the engineering first. It has to be the most important thing. Otherwise, we're just kind of fucking around with this stuff. Nobody's genuine. No one's serious. The content is what's number one. And that's a nightmare fuel because then it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get to do anything. You're just lying to yourself that you're learning. You're lying to yourself that this is an experience, that the connection that you're having with others, it's not real. That's what actually kind of is fucking everything up these days, in case you haven't noticed. We can't tolerate this. We have to have a company of people who understand, like, no, Alexander's being pretty even-handed about this stuff. And ultimately, the worst thing that he's doing here is he's having a take about what somebody else is doing, which is fine. The sooner that we can get that through everybody's heads, I think the better off we're going to be. I'm not going to be, a beggar can't be a chooser as far as methods to get that done goes. So if it means that I got to go drive a hate algorithm for a little while, if I'm going to go use whatever else that I might have on hand to get that done, then I'm a happy camper. I'm fine fine with that. It's better than doing nothing and letting a bunch of phonies and tryhards come and just create this cottage industry of content where they pretend to be people like me for a living and then exclude me because I don't obey the pecking order or whatever the fuck that they have going on here. It's sick. That's not good for anybody. It's kind of like what I said in the original video. We don't need more people who make YouTube videos about tech. We need more people who do the tech. It's in service of that. Noble ends, interesting implementation. Take it or leave it, because I know at the end of the day, all of us are more or less helpless to this shit anyway, so we might as well. Anyways, that's it. See ya.